Hey, what's up? Leroy from Roland. Today I'm down at Store DJ hanging out with the mighty MC-101 groovebox. This is one of our most powerful grooveboxes ever made, and it features this Roland Zencore sound engine. Decades of iconic Roland sounds from the TR-808, 909, Juno 106, and the SH-101. But what's cool is you can actually import your own sounds via the SD card on the back, so you can really customize your own kits and create your own unique instruments. So in this video, I'm going to make a track from scratch. I'm going to make beats, bass, chords, and a melody using all 4 tracks. But make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how you can multi-track each part of your tune from the MC-101 directly into Ableton Live for further processing and arrangement. So with that said, let's get stuck in. So the Store DJ crew know me for being a big house music fan, which is exactly what I'm going to make on the MC-101 today. But no matter what you're into, I promise you, the MC-101's got you covered. Cool, so let's start off with some drums. The first up on the MC-101, you'll see we've got 4 little faders here. These are the volume faders for each of our individual tracks. And these buttons here, the track select buttons, allow you to switch between each of your 4 tracks to program your arrangement. So I'm going to start with drums, track number 1. I'll bring the faders down a bit. And let's take a listen. So if I select note mode, this will allow me to play the individual drum sounds that I have loaded. So I've got a sort of a pretty chunky sounding TR-909 kit loaded. However, I've actually customized this with some of my own samples that I've imported from my computer via the SD card. So the first thing we're going to do is start laying down a pattern. So if I hit the sequencer section, this is where I'm able to actually program my own pattern using these pads here. And each pad will become a step in my sequence. First up, just going to make sure I've got an empty slot. I'm going to start from the ground up using some shaker sounds. Step. As I enter in these sounds, you can see it's just going to play back that sequence as I've got it programmed in. If you need to delete something, you can just press shift and it'll delete it. And then you can actually enter in some extra velocity levels and kind of customize those sounds from there. Now I'm going to program another shaker sound to kind of interact with the other one I've got. So I'm blow this here, 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 and here. Cool. If you want to be able to make further adjustments, just press and hold the sound. You can actually add some effects like a filter, modulation, or effects per step. But in this case, I think we're good. All right, here we go. Closed hat, one of the undisputed kings of house music. Let's just throw in something kind of random. Now, let's find some other percussive tones to build up this groove. Yes, little laser sound. Yep. Okay, now let's anchor this groove with the kick. I'm going to go to 4/4 pattern, trying to create that house groove. 1, 5, 9, 13. That's the 4/4. Nice. So you can see all these little small percussive elements that I was working with really helps to drive that groove and give us that sound. So I've got this rim shot. I'm going to load on the 5 and the 13. That's the upbeat of the sequence. And I'm going to layer one of those on the 16 and the 15. And I'm going to press shift on those pads and I'm going to lower the velocity levels of both of those to give us a few of those nicer accents. Nice. Let's go back to note. Yes, here we go. Classic 909 clap, always wins. Let's layer that with the other snare. Cool. Let's keep building this groove. It's time for the open hat. 3, 7, 11, 15. That's the half step of the groove. Now, let's just add in a few of those extra ones here. Just between the 11 and the 15 or the 12 and the 14, let's make sure we reduce some of the velocities of those so they don't poke out quite as loud as the rest of them. Maybe even a little bit more. Cool. It's these subtleties in the nuance of the velocity levels that really help to shape the groove and give it that extra swing. Cool. Now that's done. Let's move on to the bass line. Track 2 sounds like a good time for a bass line. Now I've got a sort of distorted 808 sounding bass line here, which is actually running through a saturation effect, which kind of makes it sound a bit grittier and gives it a bit more of an edge as opposed to a clean 808 sound. And to go through the libraries of this, just hit the value button and you can actually start going through all of the different presets via individual categories, which makes it really easy to find the sounds that you're needing at the time you're looking for it. I'm going to stick with this one for now. Now in this one, I'm just going to manually record this in over a 16-step sequence. Maybe let's go down an octave. Yeah, that's it. When you're in note mode on a melodic track, the pads actually act like a little keyboard, and all of the pads here have their individual pitches named, so you can actually see exactly what you're doing. And you're also able to assign the pitches to particular keys and scales, but for now I'm just going to keep it in a regular chromatic mode. Press the record button and then hit play. Check out the funny little metronome sound. Cool, so our groove is starting to take shape. From here, you'll be able to add a filter or some more effects to your sound of the bass, but I'm pretty happy with that, so let's keep moving. Let's move on to some chords. I've got these programmed on track 3. Got like a classic little organ style chord sound, but what's cool on the MC-101 is if we press note mode again, it actually engages chord mode, so you don't need to be a great player to be able to get some nice chord sounds. You can trigger different chord types with a single pad. Let's program that in. Last but not least, let's add a bit of extra vibe to this by adding in some pad sounds on track 4. Got this modulated Juno chord pad running through a delay, gives it a little bit extra space, and it's just kind of nice to add finishing touches on the groove. I've also got it running through chord mode, so it's playing a minor chord, and let's lay that down. Once you've got your initial ideas down, you can actually duplicate all of your patterns and create multiple variations to structure more of a track. And you do this in the clip mode. So each track has 16 individual clips or patterns that you can create. And if you press and hold the scene button, you can combine multiple clips or patterns together and trigger them simultaneously to create your arrangement. MC-101 also has some really fun performance features as well. You might have noticed I've been playing with the multi-effects button up the top here, which allows you to put an effect over your entire sound. But you've also got this scatter button down here, which will apply some interesting kind of groove-based timing effects to your pattern. These kinds of effects are really handy if you're performing live or just coming up with some inspiration, or particularly even breakdowns or those little transitions from going from one pattern to another. So once you're done jamming with the MC-101 and having some fun putting some beats and grooves together, you might want to move to your digital audio workstation to further produce and arrange the rest of your track. Cool thing about the MC-101 is it has an audio interface, which means I can connect it straight to my computer and record each individual track individually. Today I'm using the Ableton Live, so let me show you how I've set it up. So I go into my configure audio settings. I've got my input device set to MC-101. Now you will need to go to the Roland website to download the driver for this so that your digital audio workstation will see it. It's available for Mac and for PC. And I've also got the MC-101 selected as my output. And make sure you head to the input configurations and make sure you select all of these so it will allow you to record all your tracks. By default, stereo input 1 and 2 is the master, and then 3 and 4 is track 1. 5 and 6 is track 2, 6 and 7 and 8 is track 3, and 9 and 10 is track 4. Also, what you want to do is you want to go to Link MIDI and make sure that the input and output ports are selected with track and sync. So that means that Ableton Live will send clock to the MC-101, which means it will keep it all in time when you are recording. So here I've got some audio tracks set up with all the inputs selected in the drop-down menus here. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And if I hit play, you'll see the audio inputs coming through on each individual track. Cool. Once you got all your settings sorted, hit record and it will start tracking it in. So from here, you can take those individual parts, loop them out, arrange them the way you like, further create your track inside Ableton Live. It's a really powerful feature for being able to move beyond your groovebox and into your computer. So there you have it, that's making beats with the MC-101. Grooveboxes are a really great place for hands-on beat making. It's basically a synth, a drum machine, and a sequencer all rolled into one. Really great for coming up with different ideas, for creating grooves and beats. So if you're getting into hands-on music making, go down to Store DJ and check out the MC-101. That's it from me today. Thanks for checking it out. See you next time.